County, Texas, in the last few years, the abortion rate dropped. Are you ready for this? 67%. I couldn't believe it. It's amazing. It is amazing. And I fly all around the country, and I see that the pro-life ads that are running across the state of Michigan. We ran some in Ohio. The most pro-life state is where our buddy Ross is from in Pennsylvania. But Midland County, Texas, what are you doing? They said, well, we've got some bus signs. We run some slides at the movie theater. And we have some other things that we do. We counsel. I think there's just no way to get to 67% by doing those things. But God orders our steps. Some of you know I've had trouble with directions in the past. Couldn't find the room I was supposed to be in for the reception. And so a couple came up to me and said, we didn't think we'd be able to find you after this event in Midland, Texas. And they said, we're the Duffys. I just want to tell you about our son, JP. JP Duffy is a kid who, as a teenager, 17 years old, he says, I want to go meet with the mayor of Midland County, Texas. And he goes there and he meets with him, and all the handlers and he's very, very busy. You don't understand. He's very busy. No, I want to meet with him. And I want to ask him to declare a month of prayer and fasting. You know what most of us would probably be, and I think I'd fall into this category. Now, JP, that's the way you outlaw abortion, the way you protect kids again, is you certainly pray, but you got to elect pro-life people who appoint pro-life judges who get this through in the process of education and legislation. And he says, I'm going to pray. And he goes there and he meets with the mayor, and finally the mayor sits down and talks to him and says, listen, kid, you know what you're going to do. Why are you asking me to do this? It's not going to do any good anyway. It's going to put me in the political hot seat, and it's not worth it. He says, really? He says, God's word says that the prayers that when the righteous rule, I believe you're elected to rule righteously. When the righteous rule, the people rejoice. When the wicked rule, the people mourn. And God's word says it will do something. He says that the prayers of the righteous avail much. And he says, all right, kid. I'll declare this month of prayer and fasting. But the mayor was right. Everybody went ballistic. All the local networks came and interviewed him. Planned Parenthood takes out a full-page ad. They went ballistic. This is crazy. How dare you? Separation of church and state, which is incidentally not in our Constitution, but is in the former Soviet Union's Constitution. And so all of this thing that happened, they went ballistic. And the mayor realized that what he did was creating quite a firestorm. But what they didn't realize is that for the first time in Midland County, Texas history, that people heard about this proclamation. For the first time, Catholics, Protestants, all denominations were meeting together and praying for this month, fasting on Fridays when the abortions were being done. And I realized this is how the abortion rate goes down nearly 70% in a county in Midland County, Texas. And I realized prayer, if we really believe what we said we believe about it, we'd be praying a whole lot more. And I think about the leaders that we had in George Washington praying every day for an hour, even before he started his day. And I realized that prayer call that we were holding once a month, and then we held it once a week, and then we went to every day since last November. Every day we have been gathering on the phone after the program from 3 to 4. And I realized God is moving. We have prayer, and we also have fasting. Fasting, high-octane prayer, mountain-moving prayer. And I realize some of you that listen on the program, you remember when we were holding the values voter debate that they said would never happen. CNN, my mother called me. She says, Jan, I don't know if you saw CNN scheduled their Republican YouTube debate the same night as yours. And I said, maybe you better change the day. I said, well, I know that God is more mighty than the media, but maybe some other people need to know that. And so I called on the air. I called for 3 days of fasting from something so that we would go to God and ask God to move CNN, to have them back off and change their debate that they had been advertising on the air and on the website for weeks. And what do you know? After 3 days of fasting, CNN backed down. God is more mighty than the media after all.